Hey guys, Ryan Finnegan here, VA Disability Claims Explained, and I wanted to come on, make a quick video. I wanted to clear the air. I wanted to make sure that everyone was on the same page. So I am a member of a large veteran service organization, which doesn't matter which one. And on Sunday, I had received a letter from our state level department, whatever you want to call it, um, that basically gave me a cease and desist order from um, filing claims, filing VA claims, and preparing documents to submit to the VA because I'm not an accredited veteran service officer. So it caught me off guard. And to be honest, man, boy, was I pissed, right? I have never in my life claimed to be a veteran service officer or a VSO. Anytime I've worked with a veteran, all those screenshots I show you, which are friends of mine or friends of friends that referred to me to see if I would look, the very first thing that I tell them is that I am not a VSO. I can't file your paperwork, nor will I, but here's what I will do. I'll work with you to understand the process. We'll talk about your claims. We'll see the best way that you can build a solid claim so that you can get the accurate rating that you deserve. But in no way, shape, or form have I ever filed a VA document. Have I ever filled out a VA document for someone else? Because full transparency, I don't even know how to fill out a VA claims form. I've never filled one out. I've never had to because I use a VSO for my own claims. So, so for me to fill it out, one, that's your first mistake. You're probably going to get your claim denied because it's not going to be filled out right. I've never done a Nexus letter and signed it, submitted it. I've never did somebody's DBQ and submitted it because what sense would it make for me to fill those out and then have a veteran submit them? And the funny part is, of all the veterans that I've ever worked with in my life, my number one guidance is go see a VSO. Go see a VSO to get the paperwork filled out properly so that, and figure out the strategy and what's best for your claim to submit. So I found it kind of interesting that for 4 years at the local level, I've been helping veterans and talking to veterans about claims, but you release a book and you start a YouTube page and a Facebook page, and all of a sudden the state comes down alleging that somebody told them that I've been representing myself as a veteran service officer and I've been filing claims on behalf of veterans. Couldn't be further from the truth. So what I do for every veteran that I talk to personally to help is, one, I explain to them right off the bat. And if you go to my Facebook pinned post, you'll see in like the third line, it clearly states, I am not a veteran service officer, which means I can't file anything, nor would I file anything as a non-VSO because it serves no purpose. So what I do with every veteran is I tell them, hey, I am not a VSO, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to teach you and show you the same thing that I cover in my book, How to Build a Strong VA Disability Claim the First Time. So I'm going to show you how to research the claim, research the Code of Federal Regulations, which will highlight the symptoms that the VA rates on based on federal law. I'm going to show them, I'll send them the link that here's where the DBQ is. This is the questions that they're going to ask you before they ask you so that you can be prepared. You know what's coming, and you can provide the examiner at your compensation and pension exam the very evidence that they need to see so they can write it down, right? So understand that process. Then I teach them how to go gather the information they need. We talk about what's pertinent, how to build things, how to highlight their claims. So every piece of medical evidence should be highlighted, date, doctor, diagnosis, and one or two symptoms or one or two sentences, which draws the eyes of the rater because everything is now digitized. It draws the rater's eyes to exactly what you want them to see. So as they scroll through 20, 30, 40 pages of a specific claim, they're not wasting time. They can give you the exact rating they need. Then we talk about how to organize it, how to put your Nexus letter on top, then your personal statement, then your medical evidence and buddy statements, or whatever the case may be, whatever evidence they have. We talk about putting it in chronological order, either oldest to newest or newest to oldest. That way, when the rater looks at it, it just makes sense. There is nothing wrong with that. There's nothing illegal about that. Matter of fact, you can do it your damn self. So somewhere along the line, this got reported, and I wanted to make sure that everyone was clear that I am not a veteran service officer, right? This page is not designed for me to tell you how to get a claim or take a guess at what your rating should be. It is to teach you one simple thing: understand the claims process, understand the research, gather, and organize method, understand the pitfalls, understand the process in a way that you can sustain yourself to go, okay, I got it. I don't need to make 10 claims at once. I can make 2, rinse, repeat, and send another claim in. Get those 2 back. Rinse, repeat, send it in. So there is nothing VSO related about that. So I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, because I had to get it off my chest, because anytime that you get a letter like that and they're basically saying, hey, well then, you're doing all this stuff that's illegal, that's against the bylaws, that it's against the laws, when it's bullshit, you call it. So I wanted to make sure that you all knew, 1, I'm not a VSO. If you want VSO specific language, then go find a VSO. Here's what you'll get. You'll get a veteran that understands the process, a veteran that has worked with other veterans, that understands the VA, understands the veteran's life, and it's a repeatable process. Out of the 10 veterans I've worked with, outside of 2 that got 10% for a PAC Act Vietnam claim, that's all they were going to get. 1 was at 70, a handful were at 80, a few were at 90, and a few got to 100%. So I took the process that I taught them and worked with them and watched it win, because I did it. And then I refined understanding how the VA actually worked with those veterans, and they were successful in their claims. That is what this page is designed to do. So I appreciate it. I appreciate your support. And if you if you can like and subscribe to the page and continue to follow me and continue to support me, so that I can get a bigger reach to those veterans who every day are struggling with, how does the VA process work? I don't even know where to start, and they're losing money and they're losing benefits they deserve. So with that said, I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. Semper Fidelis, and have a great day.